Hello dear students of class 10th, welcome to geography class. I hope all of you are fit and healthy. Students, in this video I shall be continuing with the 5th chapter of geography, that is minerals and energy resources. Students, in the previous video I had explained you about several examples of non-conventional sources of energy. For example, I explained you about biogas, about tidal energy and geothermal energy in the previous video. Now students, let's move to the last topic of this chapter, that is conservation of energy resources. Let me tell you that here conservation means both conventional and non-conventional source of energy. Students, if I talk about energy, if I talk about the need, then energy is very important. It is essential for development. We need energy for doing all kinds of work. We require energy. So students, it is very important to use energy in an efficient way, in a sustained way, or in a judicious manner. Why? So that it can be used for a longer period, because the requirement of energy is there in every sector. That means agriculture sector, industry sector, commercialization or domestic sector, means in every sector or every sphere of life we require energy. Without energy it is not possible in order to do or carry on our activities, carry on the day-to-day activities. So it is very important for us to use energy in a judicious or in a sustained manner. Now students, if I talk about the conventional sources of energy like coal, petroleum, natural gas, see, conventional means they are non-renewable. That means they are not present in abundance. That means they will exhaust someday. Okay. So and the formation of these conventional sources of energy, they take a very long time to form. That means they take over millions of years. They take millions of years to form again. So seeing the rate of formation, we need to think once that how can we use energy so that energy or energy resources are saved. Okay, we need to save them. If we save them, that means we have earned them. Okay, saving here means earning only. So we need to understand that how important saving energy is for us, not only for us but also for our future generation. We are recklessly using the sources of energy, especially the conventional sources of energy, but we are not thinking about the future generations, right? Since they take a long period in formation, so we need to think, we need to use them as per our need, but judiciously, in a sustained manner. See, the rate of formation is very slow, but the rate of consumption is very fast. It is very quick. So we need to think how to use them so that not only we but our future generation, our children, our grandchildren and beyond that, they can use the conventional sources of energy in a proper way. They can also enjoy the usage of conventional sources of energy. So students, we need to adopt and develop sustainable path of energy development and conservation. It is a dire need for today. It is a dire need of now. Okay, so students, we need to adopt cautious approach for the judicious utilization of limited sources of energy. Okay. So students, what can be the steps or what can be the solution to this? How can we use resources in a judicious manner? How can we conserve them? How can we save them? So there are several steps or there are several solutions to it, so that we can limit the usage of conventional sources of energy. First of all, students, we should use sustainable energy that does not damage the environment, and that is economically feasible, long-term, clean fuel and a renewable source. If I talk about renewable source, clean fuel and economically feasible, then automatically solar energy comes in my mind. If I talk about solar energy, that means the energy that is generated, that is produced from sunlight or sun rays. If I talk about sunlight or sun rays, then it is available in abundance and there is no restriction in using sun rays or sunlight. So that can be used. We can shift from conventional to non-conventional sources of energy in order to fulfill our needs. We don't have to cut short our needs, but we need to use the resources in a judicious, in a sustained manner. We can use other non-conventional sources like tidal energy, geothermal energy, wind energy in order to produce electricity rather than using coal, petroleum or natural gas, right? Then students, using public transportation, this is really very important. See, if everybody wants to have their own vehicle, if we have a two-wheeler, then we want a four-wheeler. Our needs are never ending. We want more and more. Our needs and wants and desires, they are unlimited. So we need to start using public transportation, and it will, see what it will do, it will avoid traffic jams, it will avoid pollution. Since if everybody has their own vehicle, then it will cause a lot of pollution, it will cause a lot of damage to the environment. But if we use public transport like buses and all, then the pollution can be controlled, it can be reduced, or a step forward can be taken to reduce the damage caused to the environment, right? Metros can be taken, we can travel from metros. So this can be done in order to save our environment. So public transportation is also a very important step, I would say, in order to conserve our resources. See, if we travel by our own bike, scooty or car, then more petrol will be needed, and petrol is again a non-renewable resource. So this will using personal vehicles more and more will actually exhaust the conventional sources. So we need to start using public transportation. Then students, we need to ensure switching off electricity when not in use. If we see that electricity is there, if the electricity is turned on and there is no use of that electricity, then we need to switch it off. Especially if I talk about the classrooms, then you people are least bothered. You just leave the electricity on, the fans are on, the fans are turned on, they are not off. So you need to ensure that the lights, fans, they are properly switched off once if they are not in use. So this is also an important step. So next, then the next step is using power saving devices. For example, instead of using tube light, LED can be used. That means the devices that consume less electricity, the devices that consume less power. That means power efficient devices should be used in order to conserve, in order to save electricity, in order to save power. See, if you save rupees 100, that means you have earned rupees 100. So you must have the tendency to save. So if you are saving a small amount of energy also, that is also very important. That also plays an important role in conservation of energy resources. Then students, shifting from conventional to non-conventional source of energy. For example, the energy that is clean, the energy that is safe, eco-friendly or environment friendly, and that is available in abundance that should be used. For example, solar energy, tidal energy, wind energy. So such type of energy should be used. They should be promoted more and more, because energy saved is energy produced. So this should be kept in your mind. If you have saved something, that means you have produced something or you have earned something. So we need to shift from conventional to non-conventional source of energy in order to conserve the energy resources. So I hope all the points related to the conservation of energy resources are clear to everybody. So students, I hope all the topics of this chapter are clear, as I have explained all the topics, and I really expect that these videos will be fruitful to everybody. Now students, I'll be moving to the exercises that are given at the end of the chapter. I shall explain the exercises that are given at the end of this chapter.